we as Aviz announced the Aviz Certified Community SONiC. And really the way you want to look at this is a turnkey enterprise SONiC distribution that keeps community and open source as at heart, but really makes it deployable and easy to use for enterprise customers. Community SONiC initially started it's somewhere in 2016, 2017, if my memory's not completely off. So we're close to actually 10 years. And it was really driven out of hyperscalers that basically have their own support model. And so there's a couple of things that are very, very important that we learn, as I say, working with enterprise customers. One is obviously having a company that can call if there's a problem, right? 24/7 support, and we're providing this today. But there are other items that are very, very relevant if you, as an enterprise that deploys a network operating system that typically today comes from the hardware vendor, that you're looking for, right? You want to have releases. You want to have a way to influence the roadmap, working and validating new features, not just what comes community, but learnings that you have in your own network. You want to have test reports. You want to have a software bill of materials so you actually know what, if any exposure you have around software components. And so there are additional things that as any organization, particularly enterprise, if you deploy SONiC, you want, right? It's not just that it's open source. That's table stakes, but there's this other set of capabilities around certification, validation, and then an operational stack around monitoring and configuration that we that we as Aviz provide for these certified community SONiC images. And so it's really we have been doing this, as I said, for 3-4 years. But what we realized out of this is instead of engaging with customers and through a 2-3 months process, nailing down what they want is, we know by now what customers are looking for in terms of some of the features they're deploying, the scenarios they're deploying, where they deploy, what hardware they prefer. And so we basically brought this all together and said, maybe it's literally, we call it the turnkey way of deploying, right? You come to the web page, you pick the vendor you want, the hardware vendor you want, you look at the image, you look at the release notes, and you say download. And by the way, these images are free, right? We are very much sticking with the community SONiC. It's an open source distribution. We package this up, make it available as a binary, so you literally can download and deploy without having to think through how to make this work. And so really back to the question there, why not sooner? I think there's a period of learning what is really needed and how to package this up so it's as easy as possible for enterprises to use and to deploy in a network environment. What we were looking for was making this Aviz Certified Community SONiC available is obviously broaden the set of hardware vendors that these images are available for. We started off, I think, if I'm not completely off, with 6 or 7 different vendors supporting all the major 4 switch silicons that are out there, which is unique, but is also the strengths of Community SONiC. So one thing is clearly accelerating how many vendors have hardware that supports the Community SONiC. That's one. The second one is really rallying and leveraging the OCP One Center Lab that we have, where we have actually this hardware sitting, so customers and hardware partners can come in and accelerating validation if needed for specific deployment scenarios. And then in general, I think it's just going to be a positive reinforcement loop, right? More enterprise customers deploy, and the easier it gets for them, the more you're going to have a drive for feature upstreaming, for adding more features for relevant scenarios in the enterprise. And so I think it's just going to be a positive reinforcement that we expect and quite frankly hope for coming out of this to accelerate adoption.